Okay, let's dive right in. What if I told you that you are living through one of the most pivotal moments in the entire 4.5 billion-year history of our planet? Understanding this isn't just for scientists. It's about grasping the incredible speed and scale of change happening right now. A change that affects, well, everything.
To really get a feel for what this looks like, our story starts not with global data, but with a strange little mystery in the rainforests of Panama.
Meet the Panamanian golden frog. I mean, look at this thing. It's this incredible, vibrant, taxicab yellow creature. It's a national symbol in Panama, a sign of good luck. And they used to be everywhere.
And then, they just weren't. In a shockingly short amount of time, they started to disappear. Scientists would go back to streams where they'd seen thousands and find nothing. Just silence. They were gone from the wild. Poof.
So what happened? Well, the killer was a mysterious, incredibly fast-moving fungus that just ripped through the ecosystem. But here's the thing. The fungus isn't even the most important part of the story. The real question is why it was so devastating right now.
And this is where the story gets so much bigger. The tragic tale of the little golden frog? It turned out to be a canary in the coal mine for a massive, planet-altering event.
So, to understand what's really going on, we need to pull the camera back. Way back. This is the first huge idea we need to wrap our heads around.
You know, in the last 500 million years or so, life on Earth has pretty much been wiped out 5 separate times. These are known as the Big 5 mass extinctions. These were absolutely catastrophic events that hit the reset button on evolution.
Now, in the past, these extinctions were caused by things you can't really control, right? Like a giant asteroid slamming into the planet. But here's the crucial point. Scientists now argue that a sixth extinction is happening right now, as we speak. And this one is being caused by a single species, us.
In fact, our collective footprint on the planet is so huge, so undeniable, that geologists are saying we've kicked off an entirely new geological era. They're calling it the Anthropocene, the age of humans. Our activity is literally changing the rock layers of the Earth.
Okay, so if we're the asteroid this time around, how exactly is this happening? What are we actually doing?
Well, it really boils down to 3 main drivers. 3 massive forces that are working together to completely reshape the planet. We're altering the atmosphere, we're changing the chemistry of the oceans, and we're creating something called the new Pangea.
First up, the atmosphere. Since the Industrial Revolution, we've pumped over 365 billion metric tons of carbon into the air. This is forcing the climate to change at a speed that many species just can't keep up with. It's the rate of change that's the real killer.
Now, a whole lot of that carbon doesn't stay in the air. It gets absorbed by the oceans. And that leads to the second driver, changing ocean chemistry. It's sometimes called global warming's equally evil twin. It's making the water more acidic, faster than anything we've seen in millions of years, and it's a direct threat to entire ecosystems like coral reefs.
And this third one, this one is absolutely fascinating. The new Pangea. So Pangea was the ancient supercontinent, right? Well, through global trade and travel, we are essentially recreating it. We're moving species all over the globe, breaking down millions of years of geographic separation. And that's how you get things like that killer fungus in Panama in an ecosystem that had 0 natural defenses against it.
So, what does this all mean for us? Here's the key takeaway. These drivers aren't just a list of problems. They're fundamentally changing the rules of survival on planet Earth. This chart just nails the shift. Think of it like a total market disruption for evolution itself. Strategies that were winners for millions of years are now liabilities. Being big and tough used to be a great defense. Now, it makes you a target. Being geographically isolated was protection. Now, with global travel, no place is truly isolated. The entire game has changed.
You know, one paleontologist put it perfectly. He said, the history of life is basically just long periods of boredom interrupted by moments of sheer panic. And here's the punchline. We are the panic.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together and talk about what this really means for the future. So to quickly recap, we're living in a new age defined by us, the Anthropocene. It's driven by 3 huge changes we're making to the air, the water, and the very layout of life on Earth. And the result of all that is a complete rewriting of the rules of survival, disrupting the exact same systems that we also depend on.
And that brings us to the final, most important thought. Right now, today, we are deciding which branches on the tree of life get to keep growing and which ones are being cut off permanently.
Long after all our cities and businesses and achievements have turned to dust, our biological impact, the pathways we closed, will be our most enduring legacy on this planet. So the real question it leaves us with is, what do we want that legacy to be?